Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hamburg, home of the Hawks. Once again, hosting the State Amateur Tournament. I am Eric Murphy. Brian Carlson on camera here with us. And we're closing out our opening weekend with the third now Class B matchup. We have a Class C matchup coming up, makeup game at 7 o'clock tonight, but this is number 3 on our docket, and it's going to be a good one. The Hampton Cardinals will be the road team here in their red jerseys, taking on the Champlin LoGators. And let's take a closer look as we're ready to get started here. Just about a 5 o'clock start on game number 3 in Hamburg. Things moving along. The Hampton Cards come in with a 15-12 record, finishing 4th out of 7 teams in league play, 6-6 Section 1B record. The team established in 1936. They've been around, located off Highway 52 South, part of the classic Cannon Valley League in Section 1B. And Hampton arriving at the state tournament after posting redemption wins versus Dundas. 5-2 win there, and Elko a 14-10 victory, and a good shootout in that one. So Hampton can put runs on the board is the point of that stat. And they'll look to do that here, batting first against the LoGators and Champlin. Sam Riola, the pitcher, number 1 guy for the LoGators. Jordan DeCrook will start us off. It'll then be Jack Young, Rhett Kiebig, Marcus Frederickson, Johnny Dittman, Spencer Merle, Zeke Zelchow, Keenan Wenzel, and George Dittman. That is your Hampton lineup to start things off. And so far, so good for the LoGators. And their starter, Riola, Bethel, Iowa Western, Louisiana, St. Cloud State for 2021. And he takes care of DeCrook on 3 pitches. An opening strikeout for the LoGators, and 1 down. That'll bring up Jack Young, the center fielder today for Hampton. We've got a lot of notes on both of these teams. Hampton moved up to Class B for the 2018 season, and that was after competing and playing in 4 straight Class C state tournaments. So here we are in the B bracket. Again, the 3rd game for us here today, as it's ball 1 to Young. New Market took out Burnsville in our opener, and we just finished up with the Rochester Royals moving on to 7-3 victory over Forest Lake. So Rochester will take a shot at 3-time defending champion Chanhassen right here on this field next week. New Market gets St. Michael, one of the Metro Mini teams that moved on, as Riola now fires strike 2, so it's a 1-2 count on Young. The winner of this game, by the way, will play the Victoria Vics. That game right back here in Hamburg next Saturday, as Young stays alive. So the Class B bracket will be filled out here after tonight. Miesville and Chaska are going to finish up their game. It was postponed due to rain on Friday. They'll finish up tonight in Chaska. Riola quickly to the mound. You can see him almost jumping toward the box. 2-2 the count as he misses there. And it's now ball 3. So full count now. Riola 3-2 pitch. Inside corner, no. And Jack Young coaxes a walk. An early base runner for Hampton. We mentioned they can put runs on the board. Where Dundas, out of their section, did not make the state tournament this year. Obviously, always a surprise if the Dukes are not in the state tourney. Miesville, of course, made it. Hampton not far from Miesville, if you're looking at a map, kind of in between Farmington and Miesville, if you will. North of Cannon Falls. Going to bring up Rhett Kiebig, the 3rd hitter in this lineup. Rhett, former Augsburg catcher, caught 145 games for the Augies, graduated in 17. He's now in the field. He's a second baseman here. So moved on to that catcher position in his amateur career. And Riola tosses that one over for strike 1. He's a marketing and social media director for MASH Performance Baseball Academy in Eagan. So he's credited with a lot of positive energy. The number 3 hitter here. Again, these teams, Adrian Hebig and Matt Merrick, we thank you for supplying the information you did on your teams. Obviously, those two managers care deeply about these teams, and they want their guys to be promoted. So we thank them for giving us all this great information on these players. You're going to know them personally, it's going to feel like, after watching this game. I'm anticipating a great first-round matchup here. The LoGators have been knocking on the door, looking to make some noise in this bracket for a long time. They feel they can get into that third weekend as Young on the steal. The ball is dropped as Ethan Mackey exchanged it from the glove to the hand, so a steal for Young. Hampton in business now with a runner in scoring position. 2 on the count on Kiebig. Kiebig knocks that one to the right side. Riolo works his way back into the count, 2-2. It's a beautiful, beautiful day here in Hampton. We had torrential downpours Friday night, washing out that Class C matchup that'll be made up later tonight after we're done with the Class B bracket. And one slap toward third, ranging over and making the play is Ryan Bruns, the veteran. So the out at first. 2 outs now in the inning. Scooting over to third. Good base running there by Young.
Kiebig retired on a grounder to the left side. Runner at third with 2 away at the plate for the Cardinals. Designated hitter, Marcus Frederickson.
Marcus Frederickson, the DH, steps in. Former UMD Bulldog. 4-year pitcher only, but now he's the number 4 hitter here for the Cardinals. And his teammates call him Freddie. And the note for Freddie oftentimes shows up 10 minutes before the game and gets his 4 hits. So he's kind of not going to take 3 hours to warm up, to show up and play. And Freddie works a 2-0 count here from Riolo. Riolo, a quick worker here, pushes that one across, 2-1 the count. The LoGators come into this tournament ranked 3rd in Class B as that one's knocked to the left side. And, it stays in the park. And able to track that one down is Derek Heldman. The LoGators get out of the top of the first. They survive a runner on third. Riolo works his way out of it. We head to the bottom of the first. LoGators up next live on PrepSpotlight.tv.
Nobody does high school sports like PrepSpotlight.tv. Your home for Minnesota State tournament action is also where you can find the best weekly action during the regular season in 2021. We make it easy to be a high school sports fan at PrepSpotlight.tv.
Champlin LoGators due up. They will face off against Adam Stockwell, the right-handed pitcher for Hampton. 6'6", 220 pounds. And the notes on him say that he's known as the madman to his teammates. And he is not afraid to pitch inside, so all business for Stockwell on the mound. And he's going to face a lineup of Sam Riolo in the leadoff spot, Jack Puder batting second, Ethan Mackey, then Jeff Hoyer, Ryan Bruns, Bryce Nelson, Levi Brenning batting 7th in the 8th spot, Reed Conley, and the number 9 hitter, John Koenig. Jeff Hoyer's your DHing for Heldman, who we saw catch that ball out in left field, and that ball that stayed in the park. Again, it's not what you would call windy at all out here in Hampton, but it does seem that the breeze does affect the ball sometimes. We've seen that, and now this is our 7th game that we've done here in the last 40-some hours. And the flag not moving much out there, but little gusts here and there. We still only have 1 home run. This is our 7th game of the tournament here. And we still only have 1 home run in all the tournaments, so not a home run friendly park by any means. But if you can get it up in the right spot, it could go out. So the LoGators back in the big dance, their state tournament history. In 13, they made super sections where they lost to Shakopee and Isanti. In 16, they lost to the Moorhead Brewers in the first round. Got pounded there, then lost to Meesville in 17. Meesville, of course, went on to win the state championship that year. That was a first-round matchup with the LoGators. Then they lost to Northfield in the first round in 18. And they lost to the state champion Chanhassen last year, or 2 years ago, rather. A 1-0 first-round game, and that's, I think, when the LoGators started to put everybody on notice. And then 2020, they show up last year. They take out the Victoria Vics 12-2. Then again, losing to Meesville 5-2 last year. So, again, ranked third in Class B coming into the tournament. Everybody at this point knows that they are a clear threat. They won their first regular season Metro Mini title this year, so a team that has slowly been on the rise. And they are here. They know they have a first-round matchup that is extremely tough. They would love to get into that final weekend finally in this Class B bracket. Of course, that final weekend, the double elimination portion. As Riola is taken care of, Stockwell mows him down. And both pitchers with strikeouts to start the game. And that'll bring up Jack Pooter.
Batting now for the Gators, center fielder Jack Pooter.
Pooter, the Metro Mini League leader in at-bats with 152 official at-bats in the books, 181 in the plate appearances. He fouls off the first pitch. Pooter also with 5 triples. Ian Raiola tied for the league lead there. Pitch from Stockwell is inside. Hampton's roster currently made up of mostly Division III players. We'll get to the college breakdown to LoGators in a little bit. Drawing from communities like Apple Valley, Farmington, Rosemount. We saw Rosemount, some Rosemount gear in the crowd here. Lakeville, of course, in that, and also Woodbury. A lot of these kids grew up in the same area, longtime friends. 2-2 count to Pooter. Spoils that one to the left side, just over the ambulance. And Pooter slaps it to the right side, and the second baseman, Kiebig, comes up and makes the play. So 2 outs now.
Pooter retired on a grounder to the right
As Ethan Mackey will come up.
24 hitting now for the LoGators. Number 44 catcher Ethan Mackey.
And the high school breakdown of the roster for Champlin. And we'll get into, you're probably thinking it's mostly Champlin Park High School, but it's actually 10 Blaine grads and 7 from Coon Rapids. 3 from Wayzata. Champlin Park graduates, just 2 on this roster. We'll get more into that as the game moves on. 0-1 pitch inside, 1-1 now to Mackey. Maple Grove checks in, Legacy Christian, Faribault, East Grand Forks Sacred Heart even has a player on the roster. Moundsview, Anoka. We got 1 player from Illinois, and then Casson Manterville, also a graduate from that high school on the roster. 2-1 count to Mackey. And by the way, Stockwell for Hampton pitched at Gustavus, and he is pitching to one of his college teammates, Ethan Mackey. So a little familiarity between these two. 2-2 count, 2 out. Bottom of the first, LoGators trying to figure out Stockwell, and that is drilled to center. Good tracking out there and hauled in by Jack Young. 1-2-3 inning for Stockwell. We go to 2. Zeros on the board here in Hamburg.
Celebrate the end of the 2021 Town Ball season. Join your teammates, rivals, and ball fans from around the state at the Twins game on September 11th. Special ticket pricing for town ball players and fans. Salutes to the newly crowned champs and a very fun night at the ballpark. Order your tickets at twinsbaseball.com/townball and wear your town's team colors to Target Field on September 11th.
Move on to the second inning here in Hamburg. The LoGators and the Hampton Cardinals. Clean first inning. Due up Johnny Dittman and Spencer Merle and Zeke Selchow for the Cardinals. Now Johnny Dittman, the catcher and assistant manager on this team.
Cardinals catcher Johnny Dittman.
An electrician by day, how about that? So Johnny, his day job, an electrician. Trying to provide a little jolt here to the lineup. But Raiola chases that one into foul territory for the pop-up.
Dittman retired on a pop-up in foul territory after a brief conference. Raiola takes that from
So
the inning.
one down quickly here, and that'll bring up Spencer Merle.
Batting now for the Hampton Cardinals.
Spence, as they call him, leads the team in average and home runs. Also has a strong arm in right field. That is the scouting report on Spence. Right up from its manager, Adrian Kiebig. Very competitive and tough when the game starts, even though he's not sure what day it is half the time. That's that. I'm reading that right off the scouting report here. So 1-1 the count now. Raiola, and both, you can tell both these managers, like I said, just great guys. They love amateur ball, and they give us tons of great information, throwing some of the anecdotes in there. We'll keep peppering you with that throughout the broadcast. We move through this game. Check swing does not go. It's now a 3-1 count on Merle. Raiola delivers, strike two, full count. Three-two pitch, back up the middle. Tracked at short, throw is on point. And a nice play there by Bryce Nelson. Out number two. Zeke Selchow now up for Hampton. To that 14-10 game against Elko. Apparently nearly an hour it took to play the first inning in that game, 7-6. Obviously these two pitchers locked in here, but again proving that Hampton's got the firepower. They're going to try to stick with this LoGator squad. LoGator's the home team here. The white uniforms, green hats, green trim. That one to the right side. Will it get out of play? And reaches the bullpen. Consistent crowd here. The grandstand below us has been pretty full not quite as full as yesterday. The Class C teams travel so well. Almost 1,200 people in total here for our 4 games yesterday. Being told the most well-attended site out of the 3 locations as Raiola mows down Selchow. And he cruises into the through 2 innings. And it's 0-0 as we head to the bottom of the second, watching live state amateur baseball tournament action on PrepSpotlight.tv.
All summer long, you have gathered with friends, neighbors, and family at ball yards all across Minnesota.
Still going, gone, a home run!
Diamonds that decorate and help define hundreds of communities. Town Ball binds together our passion for baseball in our hometowns. And on September 11th, the cornerstone of Minnesota baseball, Target Field, will host a party for all those who play, watch, and support Town Ball. The Twins host the Royals at 6:10 p.m. Prior to the game, the newly crowned state amateur champs will be honored at the Town Ball Tavern and during a pregame ceremony. Wear your team colors and enjoy a special night at Target Field.
The 0-2 pitch. Strike 3! Fairmont, state champions in 2020.
Congratulations to the Fairmont Martins. They are your 2020.
For tickets to the Twins' Tip of the Cap to Town Ball on September 11th, visit twinsbaseball.com/townball.
Bottom 2, and up is Jeff Hoyer, the designated hitter. Rips one to first on the first pitch he sees. But Zeke Selchow says thank you very much. 1 pitch, 1 out. Ryan Bruns will step in.
Number 29, third baseman Ryan Bruns.
LoGators, by the way, their 2021 record against state tourney teams, that's all of them, A, B, and C, 18-9, so a well-tested team. And 1-0 the count now. Stockwell working quickly here against this LoGator offense. That one, hot shot towards short. Up with it and throwing it over is George Dittman. And he's out. Ball dropped on the exchange. So good clean defense thus far in this contest. 2 quick outs. The LoGators' Bryce Nelson will step up.
Batting now for Champlin Park, shortstop Bryce Nelson.
Nelson played at Concordia St. Paul. Looks at ball 1. Strike 1, 1-1 the count. There's a shot towards short. What a glove by Dittman, and the throw in time. A nice defensive play. The Hampton Cardinals keep it clean. And through 2, we've got no runs, no hits. It's a pitcher's duel early on in our Class B first-round action live at Hawk Field in Hamburg.
The Town Ball Tour. Head to the small towns and tell people what it's all about.
A lot of excitement. Weather is fantastic.
This place has been here since the early 80s.
This is a baseball town.
The town is here. The kids are here. It's safe. It's a wonderful environment. We certainly met some wonderful characters.
Thanks for joining us for another season of Fox 9's Town Ball Tour.
So it'll be Wenzel leading things off. By the way, these two have met before, if you're looking in club history. LoGators won 3-1, and that was in Hampton back in 2016. Matt Merrick, the manager of the LoGators, made sure on the notes to write he was much appreciative of the effort Hampton put into making sure that that non-league game took place. These two clubs, a lot of respect for each other. 2-1 now the count on Wenzel. Merrick said it rained like crazy both Friday and Saturday night, and they somehow got the field dried out enough to play it. And again, one of those things where you could just shrug and say, non-league game, no big deal, let's move on with our lives. But a lot of effort put in place. These two teams nowhere near each other either. So the LoGators making the trip down to Hampton, picking up that 3-1 victory back in 2016. 2-2 the count to Keenan Wenzel. Number 8 hitter in Hampton's lineup. Chopper, Rayola's in the territory. They come over, make the play. Is it in time? Yes! Bruns, the veteran Bruns, showing off the arm. Yeah, nice defensive play there for the first out. Again, one base runner in the game for Hampton. That came out of walk, so there is no hit in the game yet. As Dittman, the number 9 hitter, comes up. Rayola slips a little bit maybe, but it's a strike. Dittman, by the way, a 16-year-old in the lineup here, the little brother of Johnny. We saw him at short, some of his quicks there. And it says here he's never even played an inning of varsity ball yet. Kind of crazy to think about that. Rayola's out of the territory and pretty much just talking to his teammate Nelson. As Nelson catches that one, Nelson, thinking that there were 2 outs, was headed to the dugout. That's going to be a hard sell on the umpires. Rayola's having a little chuckle at his expense. You will not find a more entertaining team, probably, than the LoGators. They have a good time playing ball out there. So 2 quick outs for Rayola. Looks at his fingers after that one slips high. Says, give me a new ball. And Sam, he's just out there playing, having a good time. Got pretty close to his teammate there on that pop-up, probably chattering the whole time with him. So 1-0 count, top of the lineup here. Jordan DeCrook's going to take another shot. He struck out his first time up. DeCrook, also another assistant manager known as Crook, former Augsburg Gold Glove outfielder is what they say. As he knocks that one into the dirt, 1-2 the count. Leads the team in playoff average. So a calming influence, Coach Kiebig says. The average hits and runs in the playoffs, he's the guy. He's battling Rayola here. 1-2 still the count, 2 outs in the inning. And we hate to say, but there is potential rain in the forecast, so stick with us here. We dealt with enough of that on Friday night. Remember, there's one more game, and in fact, that Class C matchup that was rescheduled to 7. I'm sure those teams are not too excited to drive out here and wait through a rain. But as long as it's nothing like we saw Friday night, we should be okay to get the games in tonight. And Rayola on the 2-2 pitch. That one was in the dirt, so the count is full. Good at bat now for DeCrook. Three-two pitch. Swung on and driven to center. Drifting over and making the play is Pooter. Another 1-2-3 inning for Rayola. And we head to the bottom of the third. LoGators will be up, looking for their first hit.
Nobody does high school sports like PrepSpotlight.tv. Your home for Minnesota State tournament action is also where you can find the best weekly action during the regular season in 2021. We make it easy to be a high school sports fan at PrepSpotlight.tv.
We're headed to the bottom of the third here. Good matchup, Hampton and Champlin Park. The Cardinals and the LoGators. Adam Stockwell battling Sam Riola. Stockwell, like Riola, yet to surrender a hit. In fact, no base runners yet for the LoGators. First time through the lineup. It'll be the 7, 8, 9 hitters here in the bottom of the third. Levi Brenning and Reed Conley and John Kiebig, the number 9 hitter. And Levi, the right fielder. First pitch swinging. That's going to be a tough one. It's deep to right center. Off the wall. Brenning will chug into second. He'll stop there with a stand-up leadoff double for the LoGators. Tell that had big fly potential right off the bat. You can see Jack Young out there in center field getting ready to either watch that go over the fence or play it off the wall. So Brenning puts a charge into that one. We have our first hit of the game, and it's a leadoff double, and here we go with the Gators. Now it's Reed Conley's turn. Conley, another St. Cloud State alum. A lot of St. Cloud State built that program, the D2 power here in the Midwest over the last decade or so. So you see a lot of talent strewn throughout the state out of St. Cloud State. Chan Hassan in particular has a couple of really good former St. Cloud players. Conley takes a strike from Stockwell, 1-1 the count. Conley swings through that one, foul tip. The umpire, Mr. Malley, took that one off the mask. Looks to be okay. 1-2 will be the count now on Conley. Johnny Dittman, the catcher, goes out, has a quick word with Stockwell. There are the two Dittmans in the lineup. Johnny and the 16-year-old George at shortstop. 1-2 pitch. Knocked to the right side. Conley in that one. Dittman's going to take a look at it, but it just gets out of play. Reed seeing some pitches now. Still 1-2 the count. See some of the clouds, maybe a threat of rain moving in over the next 20 minutes or so. Hopefully it just blows on through as Conley now goes to the right side again. Zelchow gives chase over there. No room for Zeke to make a play. Oh, trying to hit the corner. Stockwell wanted that one, doesn't get it. 2-2 the count. Conley now piecing together a really nice at bat. Seeing a ton of pitches from the Hampton Ace. That one gets just through Stockwell. It's knocked out at second, but no play to be made. Kiebig did a nice job to knock it down. That prevents a run, but Brenning able to move down to third on the play. We'll see if they give him a hit, and they do indeed. An infield single awarded to Reed Conley. So now it's runners on the corners with nobody out, and John Kiebig comes up. The lefty in the 9-hole here for the LoGators. Now with action on the bases, the crowd getting a little feisty as well. That one is swung on and missed. 1-1 the count. Two on the count now. Sprayed to third. Good look there. Then they go to first for the out in the relay, a double play. And there is Dittman again, showing off those smarts that they put in the scouting report. They said he's a smart player. How about the look back on third? Still has the quickness to turn to Kiebig at second, and then the strong throw to double off Koenig. So now a runner on third with 2 outs. 6-4-3 double play. 2 quick outs here. We turn over the lineup. Going to be Sam Riola coming up. Adrian Kiebig, the manager, wants to come out, talk things over. He's checking on his big 6'6" starter, or if he just wants to talk strategy here. So a quick turn there on that double play, and again, defense on display. Riola thought maybe he had some time to get a couple cuts in. Walks back now from the on-deck circle. And Riola struck out in the first inning. First pitch swinging. Strike one. So this year, the LoGators, by the way, set single-season team record for 20 for home runs with 20 on the season. And leading the way was Hoyer and Riola. Sam with 5. And Jeff also had 5, by the way. So those two combining for half the record-setting pace in the home runs. But Sam is now down 0-2 for having struck out against Stockwell the first time up. Riola set the single-season LoGator hit record this year. He had his 60th hit in the section title game against Anoka. So Sam, catalyst for this offense, and an opportunity here. With now 2 outs, and standing on third is Levi Brenning. Remember, Brenning led off the inning with a double. A golden opportunity for the LoGators of a tremendous play at short from Dittman to get the double play. 0-2 pitches high, 1-2. Think of how important that play is. The percentage chance the LoGators had of scoring a run. Runners on the corner, no out. How much that's been reduced all the way to 0 as it's strike 3 swinging. Stockwell's gotten Riola twice, and through 3, we remain scoreless in Hamburg.
Celebrate the end of the 2021 Town Ball season. Join your teammates, rivals, and ball fans from around the state at the Twins game on September 11th. Special ticket pricing for Town Ball players and fans. Salutes to the newly crowned champs and a very fun night at the ballpark. Order your tickets at twinsbaseball.com/townball and wear your town's team colors to Target Field on September 11th.
Fill up your tank, fill up your tummy. Quick Trip, we got you.
Hamburg. It is shaping up to be our best Class B matchup here today. Pitching and defense, the name of the game so far. We head to the top of the fourth. Hampton will take a shot at Sam Riola, try to solve him. No hits yet. Jack Young did walk his first time up. He's the lone base runner thus far for the Cardinals. Jack then stole second. And moved to third on a ground out. So Hampton has threatened in this one. Way back in the first inning, 1-1 the count on Young. Riola cruising. Other than that walk, he has been in command. LoGators threatened in the bottom of the third inning, first and third, with runners on the corners and first and third, of course, runners on the corners, and nobody out. With a great play by the 16-year-old George Dittman, playing in, snagged a hard hit ball, looked the runner back at third, and started the double play. And then the big strikeout, and it was Sam Riola at the dish, top hitter for the LoGators, who struck out. He has struck out twice against Stockwell now. 2-2 pitch, strike three called. And Sam, again, he's a kid. He has a lot of fun out there playing baseball. He jumps around out there.
Now batting, second baseman number 4, Rhett.
Even in his pitching motion, there's a lot going on there. And Rhett Kiebig, the second baseman, comes in. He grounded out to third his last time up. Kiebig knocks that one into the dirt, 0-1. One count. Delivery from Riola right in there for strike two. Oh, 2 pitch. The outside. Kiebig, defensive swing, hangs in there. And that one back up the middle. It's going to be hit number 1, perhaps. No, making the play behind second base. Yet another great defensive play. This from Bryce Nelson at short. And Kiebig tried to get down the line as quick as he could, as that one was headed up the middle, but cut off and thrown out by a step.
Nelson with a nice play to deny Kiebig. 2 down, nobody on.
So that's 2 out. And no hits yet for the Cardinals. They thought they had one there. It was hit just light enough that it allowed Nelson to catch up to that thing. And Kiebig, obviously not the swiftest player in the Cardinals lineup, but still a great play by Nelson to come up with a strong throw and beat him by a foot. 1-1 to count now to Marcus Frederickson, who flew out his first time up. Swung on and missed, 1-2. One-two pitch. Riola throws that one outside, maybe trying to get Frederickson to chase. He does not, so it's a 2-2 count, 2 outs. Hampton still searching for its first hit. Fouled back. Inside pitch called strike 3. So Riola with another K, and he has 4 no-hit innings in the books. 0 still on the board as we head to the bottom of the 4th at Hawk Field.
All summer long, you have gathered with friends, neighbors, and family at ball yards all across Minnesota.
Still going, gone! A home run!
Diamonds that decorate and help define hundreds of communities. Town Ball binds together our passion for baseball in our hometowns. And on September 11th, the cornerstone of Minnesota baseball, Target Field, will host a party for all those who play, watch, and support Town Ball. The Twins host the Royals at 6:10 p.m. Prior to the game, the newly crowned state amateur champs will be honored at the Town Ball Tavern and during a pregame ceremony. Wear your team colors and enjoy a special night at Target Field.
The 0-2 pitch. Strike three! Fairmont, state champions in 2020.
Congratulations to the Fairmont Martins. They are your 2020.
For tickets to the Twins' Tip of the Cap to Town Ball on September 11th, visit twinsbaseball.com/townball.
Bottom 4, still scoreless. LoGators with 2 hits last inning. But Adam Stockwell, big 6'6" right-hander for Hampton, able to work his way out of it. And on the first pitch, he gets Jack Pooter to fly out to Dittman at short. 16-year-old at short has been busy here. And so far, he's handled everything that has come his way. And then an easy enough play for the youngster. 1 pitch, 1 out. And Ethan Mackey, again, mentioned it before, but teammates at Gustavus with Stockwell. These two know each other. Another interesting factoid when we asked for stats for Hampton. We were told they don't keep stats. And if you ask the players, they will tell you they're all 400 hitters. So that's what we'll go with. So we have no stats really for either team. Again, see the prep work and talking to the managers, that's not really important to them. As that one is driven to right, it's back near the wall and chased down on another great defensive play, this time courtesy Spencer Merle. So Spence on the run makes the catch. And nothing falling in here on these defenses. And 2 quick outs again for Stockwell. Brings up Jeff Hoyer.
Designated hitter, Jeff Hoyer.
Mentioned Hoyer with 5 home runs, helping that team record for 20 on the season. Big lefty. I'd love to swat one out. It's carrying again to right field here. You can see the flag blowing out there. Again, not windy but breezy here in Hamburg this weekend. Hoyer swings through that one. 1-1 the count now. A little off on that one, and it messes with the timing. Skied high toward third. Coming in, making the play is Wenzel. 1-2-3 inning for Stockwell. Through 4 quickly here at Hawk Field. 0-0 in our first round Class B matchup between the Gators and the Cards.
Town Ball Tour. Head to the small towns and tell people what it's all about.
A lot of excitement. Weather is fantastic.
This place has been here since the early 80s.
This is a baseball town.
The town is here. The kids are here. It's safe. It's a wonderful environment. We certainly met some wonderful characters.
Thanks for joining us for another season of Fox 9's Town Ball Tour.
through 4 innings at Hawk Field, and this is a good one. Hampton and the LoGators of Champlin Park, our third Class B matchup here, and just the energy we needed to pick things back up as we are halfway through this one, or nearly halfway through. And we've only got 2 hits, both Gator hits, so Sam Riola's out there for his 5th inning of work, has yet to surrender a hit. And again, the winner of this contest will move on to take on Victoria right back here in Hamburg. That's the 4 o'clock scheduled game next Saturday. We'll have it live right here on PrepSpotlight.tv. Already had Rochester, the game before us, move on with a 7-3 victory over Forest Lake. They'll play 3-time defending champ Chanhassen at the nightcap next Saturday. And then the early game for us here, Newmarket, took care of Burnsville in a high-scoring affair, 11-5 the final in that one. They get to take on another Metro Mini team, St. Michael. Surprise of the tourney so far, knocking out the Moorhead Brewers. Strike 1 to Johnny Dittman, by the way. Riola picking up right where he left off. 0-2 now. You have Johnny, and then his younger brother, George, playing short and showing off his prowess as just a 16-year-old at shortstop. Johnny, the backstop here for this Cardinals squad, hangs tough on that pitch. Hangs tough again. Hampton mentioned their location off Highway 52, not far from Meesville. Much celebrated town ball team here in Minnesota. Hampton right there in the same neighborhood, not far from Farmington, north of Cannon Falls. That pitch is high, 1-2. Field name there, Harold Doffing. No lights, they tell me. One of the nice little intimate venues in the town ball fields throughout this state, the hundreds of them that are out there. Of course, includes this beauty here in Hamburg. We're in Carver County. As that one is fisted back to the mound, and Riola takes that one out of the air and then turns around and fires it to his second baseman, John Koenig. He's saying, thank you. I'm now paying attention. He fired that one pretty fast at him. Koenig able to handle it, so 1 out. Spencer Merle made a nice defensive play in the field. He's now up trying to solve Riola. And Spence grounded out his last time up in the 2nd inning. That one a little bit low. 1-1 the count. Meesville, by the way, speaking of them, they play Chaska tonight. They're supposed to finish up that game that actually got started, and they played quite a few innings. Then had to stop it due to rain. We never got underway here in Hamburg. Waconia also started their Class C game that they had Friday night, so that game's scheduled to make up tonight. There is rain in the forecast. That one grounded to short. Up with it and throwing it over is Nelson. Riola continues to cruise. Now 2 outs in the inning. We'll bring up Zeke Selchow.
2 down, bases clear. Batting now for the Hampton Cardinals. Number 14, first baseman Zeke Selchow.
Selchow plays in St. John's. His older brother Johnny is on this team, so 2 sets of brothers on the team. Zeke, your catcher, first baseman for this squad, so plays a couple different positions, playing first base here tonight. Now 1-1 count, 2 outs in the inning. Top 5. Swung on and missed, 1-2. Riola just in a groove right now. That one drilled to short. Nelson up with it, gathers, throws, out number 3. Riola holding the Cards hitless through 5. We head to the bottom of the frame. Coming up next on PrepSpotlight.tv.
Nobody does high school sports like PrepSpotlight.tv. Your home for Minnesota State tournament action is also where you can find the best weekly action during the regular season in 2021. We make it easy to be a high school sports fan at PrepSpotlight.tv.
Download Mockintune's Fine Foods app and enroll in our rewards program. Use our app to view our weekly sales app, download coupons, build your own shopping list, and even place your online order. Learn more at mockintunes.com. For the Champlin Park LoGators in the bottom of the 5th inning, leading it off, third baseman Ryan Bruns.
Bottom 5 of this pitcher's duel between Hampton and Champlin. Ryan Bruns leading things off. Ryan grounded out in the 2nd inning. 2 hits on the board, both from the LoGators. Both of those hits coming back in the 3rd inning. And Hampton somehow survived runners on the corners with nobody out without surrendering a run. Great defense continuing for both sides here today as Stockwell drops that one in there for strike 2. 0-2 now to the veteran Bruns. Bruns checks, and he's now going to try to make it to first. Strong throw, though, from Dittman. Well, now he's going to argue and say maybe I didn't go, but I don't know if he's going to win that argument. Well, they're going to check it, and check swing. It's a done deal. So Bruns looks at Dittman, picks up the lumber, shakes his head, said, yep, I was just trying to sell it. So it's a strikeout in the books and an out number 1 here. And the Gators will continue, try to work and find something here against the big Adam Stockwell, 6'6", 220 pounds. And he's shutting down a pretty good lineup here so far. That one taken for a ball. This is Bryce Nelson, the shortstop. He has been active, making nice defensive plays, both shortstops here tonight. Now wants to get something going with the lumber. Swings through that 2nd pitch. 1-1 the count. No, he says, I'll try to bunt my way on. Well, it can't lay it down, so now 1-2 the count. Trying to catch the defense off guard, perhaps. Hanging tough is Nelson. And setting on deck is Levi Brenning. Brenning rocked a double to off the wall back in the 3rd inning. So LoGators trying to get something going with the bottom of the order once again. The lights are on here now as we do have clouds moving in. Again, rain in the forecast, and we have one more game scheduled here. Trying to make up for that Class C game that got rained out on Friday. The radar makes it look like we might be waiting a little bit again as that one is hit to Kiebig. He handles it easily. And 2 outs now. As that'll bring up Levi Brenning. As mentioned, hit a double his last time up.
2 down, nobody on. Hitting now for the LoGators. Number 22, right fielder Levi Brenning.
So Kiebig has been active out there. Second base as well. Defense on their toes here tonight. Big cut there from Levi. Comes out of his shoes. 0-1 the count. High and tight, 1-1. Swung on and missed. Another big swing there from Brenning. One and two, 2 outs. Delivery coming from Stockwell. It's in the dirt, 2-2. So you can see Maple Lake is here. And they're set to take on the Milroy Irish at some point tonight. And looking at the radar, it could be a late night here once again in Hamburg as the 2-2 pitch misses. Full count now. Brenning works it all the way back. Long walk toward the plate from Stockwell. He'll now toe the rubber and try again against Brenning. 3-2 pitch. Swung on and Brenning hangs tough. Count remains full. We actually do have lightning that we can see in the skies around us now. So it does look like weather will potentially play a factor in this game as well. Obviously a quick moving game. But if the rain continues to move in, and we got storm clouds as Brenning hits that one to right, it's going to stay in fair territory. And a sliding catch made. Another one by Merle. The defensive gems continue here as we move through 5-0-0. Live on PrepSpotlight.tv between the Cards and the Gators.
Celebrate the end of the 2021 Town Ball season. Join your teammates, rivals, and ball fans from around the state at the Twins game on September 11th. Special ticket pricing for Town Ball players and fans. Salutes to the newly crowned champs and a very fun night at the ballpark. Order your tickets at twinsbaseball.com/townball and wear your town's team colors to Target Field on September 11th.
Project needs electrical or technology solutions, then count on EPS. For over 33 years, EPS has been helping communities like Chaska and Chanhassen build projects on budget and on time. The EPS employees are people who bring excellence to their customers' commercial projects and will do what they say they will do. Visit their website, electricalproduction.com, to learn more about the many skills they have to offer.
So we're getting some company here below us in the grandstand as the fans from down each line behind the dugouts, fans of each respective team, has decided to take cover. A light rain has begun to fall here. Looking at the radar, the heavy stuff not set to be here for another hour or so.
Wenzel.
So for now, they're going to play through it here as Keenan Wenzel leads off against Sam Riola. And weather aside, Sam piecing together a masterpiece here in this Class B opener. He has not surrendered a hit through 5. Wenzel swinging away here. It's now 1-1. Keenan grounded out to third his first time up. One pitch fouled back. And obviously, they'll continue to monitor the weather here. Again, just a light rain right now. In fact, a couple hardy souls are just hanging out down there, taking on a couple water drops. 1-2 pitch, high and outside. Watch Riola play, and again, he just kind of jumps all over the place. A lot of energy. Any ground out or pop-up, he's running to the ball. He kind of jumps off the mound at the batters. That one chopped the third again, and again, Bruns handles it easily for the first out. So back-to-back groundouts to third in his first 2 at-bats for Wenzel. And that's going to bring up the youngster, George Dittman.
Hampton Cardinals. Number 19, shortstop George Dittman.
Tries to dry the bat off as much as possible here. Again, George is 16 years old. And he is a really good defensive shortstop. Bringing up the 9th spot in the order. He flew out his first time up. First pitch swinging. Nelson at short comes up firing. Dittman showing off some good speed there. But Nelson gets him by a step. 2 quick outs. Now to the top of the lineup, Jordan Diekrook.
2 down, bases clear. Hitting now for the Hampton Cardinals. Leadoff batter, left fielder number
So Crook,
7, Jordan.
as he's known to the Cardinals, our Augsburg player. Top of the lineup here. He struck out and flown out. That ball is high. And again, a light rain. It's hard to actually tell from where we sit, so it must be pretty light. I see an umbrella out there now, and of course, most of the fans have fled, come under the grandstand. So a 2-0 count for Diekrook, the leadoff man in the Cards lineup. On the 2-0 pitch, high fly towards second base. Under it is Koenig. He takes care of business. No hit through 6 innings have been the Cards by Sam Riola as he continues to cruise. Play through the light rain, and we head to the bottom of the 6th. Live state amateur baseball on PrepSpotlight.tv.
All summer long, you have gathered with friends, neighbors, and family at ball yards all across Minnesota.
Still going, gone! A home run!
Diamonds that decorate and help define hundreds of communities. Town Ball binds together our passion for baseball in our hometowns. And on September 11th, the cornerstone of Minnesota baseball, Target Field, will host a party for all those who play, watch, and support Town Ball. The Twins host the Royals at 6:10 p.m. Prior to the game, the newly crowned state amateur champs will be honored at the Town Ball Tavern and during a pregame ceremony. Wear your team colors and enjoy a special night at Target Field.
The 0-2 pitch. Strike 3! Fairmont, state champions in 2020.
Congratulations to the Fairmont Martins. They are your 2020.
For tickets to the Twins' Tip of the Cap to Town Ball on September 11th, visit twinsbaseball.com/townball.
Bottom of the 6th now. And the pitcher's duel, bottom of the lineup for the LoGators, Reed Conley. Reed singled his last time up. One of only 2 hits in this game, surrendered by Adam Stockwell. Sam Riola on the other side has not surrendered a hit. So a true pitcher's duel. We're more than halfway through this contest. That one chopped to third, up with it, and an easy throw for the out is Keenan Wenzel. The lineups continue to try to solve these pitchers as it's now John Koenig's turn, the number 9 hitter. He did into a 6-4-3 double play. That tremendous play by Dittman at short. When they had a chance, runners on the corners with nobody out. That one's fisted near center. Might be a tough play, but ranging in and making it look easy is Jack Young. Man, he's got a lot of range out there, a lot of speed. And off the bat, that looked like it might be trouble. But run down easily, and 2 quick outs. Top of the order, and it's Sam Riola. Again, top hitter on this team. And what he's doing on the mound, most important right now, but Sam capable of knocking it out of the park. He'd like to do that here. Really hasn't been able to touch Stockwell. 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts so far. That's a tough pitch. Stockwell puts it right where he wants it. An outside corner, 0-1. And that time goes right back, a little disappearing act as it crosses the plate. And quickly 0-2 on Riola. Again, Sam, 60 hits this year. That is a LoGator record. But he has not been able to time up Stockwell. Stockwell goes even farther outside. Riola does not chase. 1-2 the count. 2 outs in the inning. Stockwell working quickly here. As you can see, 0-0 our score. Only 2 hits in the entire game, both from the LoGators. Stockwell delivers again. He keeps going back to that spot. This time Riola is able to fight it off. 1-2 remains the count. One-two pitch again. It goes low. Really good pitch. But Riola does not take the bait, so 2-2 the count. Sam trying to work his way back into this at bat. Sam hangs again. Riola now talking to his bat. Stockwell staying around the plate here. Trying to get Riola to chase something. Count is still 2-2. Outside again, now it's full. So Riola officially working this back to his advantage here. Three-two pitch coming. Swung on and driven to right. Going back on the play and making the play, falling down is Kiebig. Another defensive jam for the Cardinals, and they keep the Gators off the board again through 6. It's 0-0. Live Class B tournament action on PrepSpotlight.tv.
Town Ball Tour. Head to the small towns and tell people what it's all about.
A lot of excitement. Weather is fantastic.
This place has been here since the early 80s.
This is a baseball town.
The town is here. The kids are here. It's safe. It's a wonderful environment. We certainly met some wonderful characters.
Thanks for joining us for another season of Fox 9's Town Ball Tour.
updates. Austin is now leading the Painesville Pirates by a 3-2 margin. Foley ahead of start, 6-4. That score. Those scores brought to you, of course, by Score Monster.
Move to the top of the 7th inning now.
Leading it off, number 11, center fielder, Jack.
And Jack Young, the center fielder, will lead things off. Jack with good speed, showing that in the field. He walked in the first inning, struck out his last time up, does have a stolen base in this contest as well. And again, the story of the pitcher's duel here. But Riola has yet to surrender a hit. So through six hitless innings. And to this point, Young is the only base runner that we've seen so far for the Cardinals. He's worked the count to 2-0 on Riola. Sam comes back across with that pitch, 2-1. Two-one pitch, just outside now, 3-1. Fouled back, count is full. Jack plays at Concordia St. Paul. Fast center fielder is what the scouting report says. We, of course, have seen that here today. As Conley able to knock that one down at first and make the play himself. So one out in the inning.
Heading now for the Cardinals.
Rhett Hebig
Number 4.
now coming to the dish. Rhett has been busy out there defensively. Saw that nice defensive play in the 6th inning. Now Rhett, the plate, trying to solve Riola and get a base runner here for Hampton. He's grounded out twice. Slaps that one towards short. Nelson gets over there, but it gets through. And I think they're going to award a hit here. And Nelson tried to get over. It is indeed a hit. So the first hit of the game for the Cardinals. And it's Rhett Hebig knocking it through the left side. That brings up Marcus Frederickson, who flew out and struck out his first 2 times up. Now Riola forced to pitch out of the stretch. We'll see if that affects anything here. So far, so good for Sam, as he's got strike 1 on Frederickson. Frederickson fouls that one back, so he's in an 0-2 hole. Frederickson, the DH. Mentioned former UMD Bulldog pitcher. Now just a hitter. 0-2 pitch. Check swing, strike 3. Well, Riola comes back after surrendering his first hit and strikes out Frederickson, excuse me. And that is 2 outs in the inning. And Johnny Dittman, the catcher, comes up. He is flown out twice, both times, to Riola. First one was actually out of play the last time, a line drive. The 2 F1s in the scoreboard. And it's ball 1. 0 pitch from Riola. Outside 2-0. Well, that pitch just misses. Now a 3-0 count on Dittman. Keep in mind the Cardinals, just one hit. They have had a runner all the way to third base. Young got there back in the first as that one catches the corner. 3-1 the count. And the Hampton crowd, you can hear them below us again. With the light rain falling, they've moved to the grandstand here. Very vocal. Things are tightening up. Riola tries to catch Kiebig sleeping over at first. Three-one pitch from Riola, hammered into left. It's another hit. Kiebig will hold at second. But with 2 outs, runners on first and second now. The Cardinals getting something cooking here against Riola. So 2 singles in the inning. And it's now Spence Merle coming to the plate. And Spencer is grounded out both times to shortstop. Matt Merrick's going to come talk things over here with Sam. Actually, he's going to call a conference on the mound to talk it over with his infield. Also got a couple LoGators making their way down to the bullpen here as well. Their bullpen features Jerry Gooley, Jack Herring, Charlie Hutchinson, Dylan Wilson, Alex Winslow, and Josh Peterson. That's listed, Coach Merrick, out of his bullpen. He does put the caveat that Levi Brenning would be the #1 guy out of the pen for him, but has a little bit of trouble getting moving quickly. So they use him as what he calls an extended opener, probably if they need somebody to come in. Either a large lead or maybe a large deficit and just eat innings. That would be their choice. So he's probably not going to get called on here tonight in any kind of situation. But of note, Coach Merrick put it in there for us. So 2 outs. And Spence Merle at the dish. And Spencer takes ball 1. On pitch, third base side, foul. One count, and that's in there for a strike 2. So 1-2. Riola works his way ahead. Trying to get out of a jam here. He hasn't had to work like this since the first inning. Took a no-hitter through 6. 2 hits surrendered in the inning, but 2 outs here. And a big 1-2 pitch. And he gets him swinging. Riola fired up coming off the mound. He has kept the Cards off the board through 7. That'll be the LoGators taking another stab at Adam Stockwell when we come back. Live state amateur baseball tournament action on PrepSpotlight.tv.
Nobody does high school sports like PrepSpotlight.tv. Your home for Minnesota State tournament action is also where you can find the best weekly action during the regular season in 2021. We make it easy to be a high school sports fan at PrepSpotlight.tv.
We move to the bottom of the 7th inning here at Hawk Field of this pitcher's duel, 0-0. Now each team with 2 hits. Sam Riola took a no-hitter through 6 innings. The Cardinals rallied for 2 hits off of him in the top of the 7th, but Sam gets out of it with the big strikeout, Spencer Merle. And now it's the heart of the order coming up for the LoGators. First pitch, Jack Pooter sees, and he knocks it off of Stockwell, and yet another nice defensive play as Adam is able to recover and throw him out just in time. So it's going to go G1 in the book, but a lot going on there, as it's now Ethan Mackey's turn to take another shot at his college teammate. Now Ethan, 2 flyouts, 0 for 2 on the day. So Pooter came up ready to hit. Mackey swinging on the first pitch he sees. One on the count on Mackey. Inside pitch, 2-1 the count. Mackey hits that one far to the right side, not a play. Count is even at 2-2. We have no action whatsoever for Hampton in their bullpen. Champlin does have a couple arms loosening up. And he hammers that one to left. It's got a chance. It is deep, and it is gone. A solo home run for Mackey. And we have our first run of the game. The LoGators strike first in the bottom of the 7th. So Mackey, the dugout comes out to greet him. Roars from the crowd, and he hammered that one off of his college teammate Stockwell. 3rd hit of the game, and a loud one there as he drills that one over the left field fence. A 1-0 lead now for the LoGators. And taking his cuts now is Jeff Hoyer. Mentioned Hoyer tied for the team lead with 5 home runs this season. LoGators set the team mark for homers at 20 coming into the tournament. That's the 21st jack, and it's a huge one, as it just takes 3 pitches for Stockwell to come right back and get an out. Sends Hoyer back to the dugout. 2 outs now, and the veteran Ryan Bruns comes to the plate. So Ryan, just one of 2 active players from the inaugural squad, still on the active roster. Well, I actually read that wrong. Ryan joined in 2007. There are 2 active guys on the roster, Nick Larson and Ryan Udis. Udis is on the playoff roster, but has since taken a job in Las Vegas, a teaching job out there. So he is not going to be here for state. So 1-1 the count on the veteran Bruns. So again, been around since 07 on this team. Third oldest, 3rd in tenure on the active roster. Manning that 3rd base position. It's in a 1-2 hole here. And Ryan grounded out and struck out so far here today. He wants to come up and see if he can run into one and knock it over the fence like Mackey. 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2-2. Pitch is in the dirt. So the count is full now. 3-2 pitch. That one hammered towards short, and Tippmann this time can't glove it. That's going to be 6. So George has played great out there. But that time, just could not glove that hot shot. He's 6, and Bruns will have a pinch runner come in for him. Dylan Wilson will come in and run. As Bryce Nelson, the shortstop, steps into the plate now. Bryce has grounded out twice. First error of the game. What a clean game we've had here. We had 2 hits early for Champlin, and then Stockwell settled in. Raiola didn't give up a hit through 6. 5 total hits, 1 run. The solo shot for Maki here in this inning. And now we've seen our first error as well. Phenomenal baseball game. The best we've seen here today by far. Between 2 great clubs trying to move on to the second round next week. Come right back here to Hamburg. Got a 3-0 count now on Bryce Nelson. You've got Levi Brenning, who knocked one off the wall earlier today, standing on deck. That's in there, 3-1. Inside pitch, ball 4. Runners at first and second with 2 out. So an error and a walk. And that brings up Brenning.
Nelson with a walk. That puts runners at first and second with 2 down at the plate for the LoGators. Right fielder Levi Brenning.
Brenning comes up swinging. Swings through the first pitch, 0-1. Oh, 0-2 the count now on Brenning. As Stockwell tries to work out of this one. First and second, 2 outs, 1 run already in on the solo shot from Maki. 0-2 pitch is high, 1-2. Oh, that pitch over the plate, and Stockwell again takes the long walk toward the plate and chirping a little bit there. He wanted that call. 2-2 is the count, does not get it. So Brenning survives that pitch. Still has an opportunity here. 2-2 count, 2 outs, 2 on. Swings and misses, so Stockwell gets him anyway. But the LoGators of Champlin Park have broken through. It's Ethan Maki with the solo home run, and after 7, the Gators with a 1-0 lead.
Celebrate the end of the 2021 Town Ball season. Join your teammates, rivals, and ball fans from around the state at the Twins game on September 11th. Special ticket pricing for Town Ball players and fans. Salutes to the newly crowned champs and a very fun night at the ballpark. Order your tickets at twinsbaseball.com/townball and wear your town's team colors to Target Field on September 11th.
So Champlin Park breaks through with the solo shot from Ethan Maki off of his college teammate Adam Stockwell. There's 3 hits for Champlin, 2 right now for Hampton. They were held hitless through the first 6 innings. We now head to the 8th. Sam Briola's back out Try to keep the Hampton lineup in check. We mentioned earlier 10 guys that graduated from Blaine High School, only 2 from Champlin Park on the LoGators. And Coach Merrick made sure we knew exactly why. So back in 2015, the core of this team was actually mostly Coon Rapids guys, and a lot of players retired, so they wanted to go out and get younger players. But during that off season, according to Coach Merrick, another team in Brooklyn Park started, and that was the Norsemen, and they took pretty much every single young Champlin Park player that wasn't already on a roster. So the LoGators didn't really have a shot at getting any CP guys. And then the Norsemen actually ended up folding, but in the meantime, the pivot for Merrick and the LoGators was to get their first round of youth infusion. That was in 2016, and 3 of those players were from Blaine. So you know how that works. You get 3 players in, and the next thing you know, you add more and more young talent from that same pipeline as time moves on. And there's your story as to why Champlin Park has mostly Blaine graduates on the roster. Well, now it's Hampton facing Riola. And we've got a pinch hitter in Zeke Salchow's spot. Josh Sharp hitting, and he has coaxed a 3-1 count here on Riola as the rain looks like it's picking up a little bit out there. And there you go. So right off the bench, Sharp pinch hitting, and he works a walk. This was right after Ethan Mackey's solo home run. Puts the LoGators in front after 7. And now Merrick's going to come out and have another conference on the mound. And again, he does have an arm warming up in the bullpen. So what is the decision here? Riola has been pretty much dominant here. But is it time to use some late inning relief? And by the way, Coach Merrick, originally from East Grand Forks. East Grand Forks won yesterday, took out the Anoka Bucks, another Metro Mini team. Coach Merrick said a couple of the guys on the roster he's familiar with as he coached them back in the day in Little League and Legion Ball. And his brother is also on the East Grand Forks team. Remember that from last year, actually. But his brother currently not playing. So the bunt right away after the walk. Riola, and the wet grass comes over, sure-footed, makes a strong throw. But a pinch hit bunt, courtesy of Johnny Salchow, the veteran.
Salchow with a successful sacrifice.
So the sack bunt.
At the plate. Shortstop George Dittman.
And now George Dittman, the number 9 hitter, comes up. So back-to-back pinch hitters for Zeke Salchow and Keenan Wenzel. And with 1 out, we have a runner on second. That is Josh Sharp, who walked here earlier in his pinch hit appearance. 0-1 count to the number 9 hitter, Dittman. That pitch is high. Riola certainly does not want to give it right back after Mackey broke open the scoreless tie. The solo shot. That pitch is outside, 2-1 the count. George has flown out and grounded out in this game. That one's high, 3-1. Swung on to the right side. Calling it off and making the play is Brenning in right. So the fly ball from Dittman, out number 2. Sharp still standing on second. We go to the top of the order as Jordan D. Crook comes to the plate.
Left fielder Jordan D. Crook.
And D. Crook struck out his first time up, flew out his last 2 times up. Again, it is Lorraine getting a little more steady out there on the field. Want to do everything they possibly can to play through this one and figure out what's next in the Class C game. As that one popped towards second, and reading it the entire way and making the play is Kiebig at second base. So Rowling gets out of the jam, and he keeps the Cards off the board as we head to the bottom of the 8th. The LoGators will be looking to add to their 1-0 lead.
There were no hits or errors. 1 runner left stranded.
Hey folks, the state amateur tournaments are now in full swing. The Class B and C tourneys will be played out over the next 3 weeks in Waconia, Chaska, and right here in Hamburg. Get out and support your community, or if you just love the game of baseball and want to watch the win or go home games at fantastic venues, there's nothing like tournament time. If you can't make it to the games, PrepSpotlight.tv/townball has packages that will make watching all the venues very affordable. Enjoy the tournament at the park or right here on PrepSpotlight.tv. Adam Stockwell out for an 8th inning of work. Again, I don't see anybody warming up for Hampton. I want to ride Stockwell. He's pitched well. Only surrendering 3 hits, but the big one, Ethan Mackey with the solo home run last inning, breaking the 0-0 tie. Reed Conley due up, then it'll be John Koenig, and then back to the top of the order. Sam Riola will look to try to solve his counterpart here. Reed Conley has got a single in this game. He's 1 for 2. First time moving through the scorebook here as Conley jumps on the first pitch he sees, drives it deep to right. This one's got a shot, and it's off the wall at the 360 mark. Conley is going to stand up and get in just ahead of the throw, so he knocks that one off the wall. The first pitch he sees, a stand-up double for Conley. He was trotting into second base. The throw got there just a step late, so Conley apparently really good at reading that throw coming in. He did not change gears, that is for sure. A nice rip there. Right near the 360 marker out there in left field. Now John Koenig steps to the dish. John hit into a double play and flew out, and he bunts that one toward third. Could have been a play at third. Instead, they take the out at first. Long throw, but Stockwell makes it. So Conley, again, he's not the swiftest of runners, but he runs with a lot of confidence. So the sack bunt is out number 1. Conley moves into scoring position. And now Adrian Hebig, the manager, comes out. Bullpen action just started here for the Cards. So I don't know if he's just buying some time, talk things over on what to do. Again, Conley, it's going to be interesting to see how Merrick plays it here. He's not going to a pinch runner. Obviously, trust Conley is a smart base runner. He's able to scoot up to third. I'm not sure Stockwell would have had much of a clean play unless he continued with his momentum over there and flicked it in the neighborhood, perhaps, but made the long throw for the out, so Conley is standing on third. And now you've got a dangerous hitter in Sam Riola coming up.
Runner at third base, 1 out, top of the order now.
Well, that said, Sam has not gotten the ball out of the infield here today. He has struck out twice against Stockwell. He flew out to the second baseman his last time up. Infield in, by the way, as Riola swings and misses. Riola swings through the second pitch, 0-2 now. He just cannot figure out Stockwell. He did work a really nice at bat last time. Ended up popping out to Kiebig. 0-2 count, big spot. Riola swings and misses. 3 swings, 3 misses, and a huge strikeout for Stockwell as he sets down Riola for the 3rd time here. And it's out number 2, and it'll be up to Jack Pooter.
At third, 2 away, batting for the LoGators now, center fielder Jack Pooter.
And Pooter has grounded out twice, flown out once, 0 for 3 on the day. Gators looking for another clutch hit here. That one hit to first, swallowed easily by Zelchow, and Zeke takes it to the bag for the out. So how about that? Stockwell gets out of the jam, strands the runner on third, and here we go through 8. It's still 1-0 Gators. Champlin will try to close things out when we come back live on PrepSpotlight.tv.
All summer long, you have gathered with friends, neighbors, and family at ball yards all across Minnesota.
Still going, gone, a home run.
Diamonds that decorate and help define hundreds of communities. Town Ball binds together our passion for baseball in our hometowns. And on September 11th, the cornerstone of Minnesota baseball, Target Field, will host a party for all those who play, watch, and support Town Ball. The Twins host the Royals at 6:10 p.m. Prior to the game, the newly crowned state amateur champs will be honored at the Town Ball Tavern and during a pregame ceremony. Wear your team colors and enjoy a special night at Target Field.
The 0-2 pitch. Strike 3! Fairmont, state champions in 2020.
Congratulations to the Fairmont Martins. They are your 2020.
For tickets to the Twins' Tip of the Cap to Town Ball on September 11th, visit twinsbaseball.com/townball.
Here we go. The stage is set. 1-0 advantage for the LoGators. Sam Riola has been spectacular. He is going to try to close this thing out. He's allowed just 2 hits. 6 hitless innings for surrendering the 2 hits. But he has kept Hampton off the board. Ethan Mackey's solo shot so far the difference. Hampton's heart of the order coming up. Their last stab at it here. 3 outs. Do 3 outs remain in the 2021 season? Or can the Cardinals stave off elimination? It's the stellar right-hander Sam Riola. And it's going to be Jack Young leading things off. That one outside to start it, 1-0. Young again walked and made it all the way to third back in the first inning. He has struck out and grounded out since. Ends that one the third base side, foul, 1-1. Rain steadily falling here in the late innings as it's now a 2-1 count. So adding another element here. The weather has officially moved in. It's, again, a steady rain right now. Obviously, tournament officials want to get this one finished if they can, as that one is inside, high and tight. And a 3-1 count now on Jack Young. Bullpen action for the LoGators. Case Riola needs to be relieved. Sure, Matt Merrick wants to stick with his ace as long as he can here as he tosses that one in for strike 2. And Young tries to sell it. Maybe that probably wasn't even a sell job. I think he actually thought that was ball 4. So now the 3-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Riola's fired up as he comes back to get the strikeout. Hampton down to its final 2 outs now. The 6th strikeout for Riola in the game.
Cardinals, second baseman Rhett Kiebig.
Now Rhett Kiebig will step up. Kiebig broke the no-hitter up his last time up in the 7th inning. Riola starts him off with the ball. Hit towards short. Nelson scoops, sets, throws, and beats him by a step. 2 outs now in the inning. And Riola an out away here from the complete game 2-hit shutout. And it's up to Marcus Frederickson, who is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts today against Sam. First pitch from Riola, and it's ball 1. That one fouled back, 1-1 the count now on Frederickson. DH in the lineup for Hampton. A lot of offers in the lineup. It's great performance from Riola. Swung on and missed, 1-2. Cards down to their final strike. One-two pitch. Skips it in the dirt. So 2-2 the count as Riola regathers himself on the mound. 2-2 pitch. Hit towards second. Gather, throw. Out number 3. And the LoGators find a tremendous performance from Sam Riola. Move on to round number 2 in the Class B state tournament. A complete game 2-hit shutout for Riola. And the LoGators are on to round 2. They'll be right back here in Hamburg next Saturday as they move on to take on the Victoria Vics. So I usually have a storyline recap to go through all the steps here, but not much to speak of. A tremendous ball game, the best one we've seen so far here in Hamburg. And Adam Stockwell, tip of the cap to him, also pitches a complete game for Hampton. Just the one solo shot from Ethan Mackey in the bottom of the 7th inning, a home run being the difference, and Sam Riola continued to mow down the Hampton Cardinals, surrendering just 2 hits. He struck out 6, a complete game shutout for Sam. Obviously, he is our player of the game. And again, the LoGators moving on. They will take on the Victoria Vics. 4 o'clock scheduled against the Vics game next week. Again, next week will be a win or go home game as the first 2 rounds in the Class B tournament. Once again, our single elimination. The LoGators trying to move on and continue to build on their success in the tournament and get into that final weekend. They'll have another tough one next week against the Vics, where we'll probably see Riola on the mound once again for Champlin. So that's going to do it for our Class B coverage here this weekend in Hamburg. We have another one scheduled here on PrepSpotlight.tv. However, the Friday night game that was rained out, the Class C matchup, Maple Lake and the Milroy Irish, is once again in jeopardy, at least the start time on that final game, as the radar says storms are moving in once again. So buckle up, could be a late night as they're going to do whatever they can, I'm sure, to get that first round in that Class C matchup in the books here and try to finish out that Class C bracket. So the B bracket will be full. Neesville and Chaska have yet to play tonight as well, weather pending. But that's going to do it for our Class B action here in Hamburg. If you joined us just for this game, we thank you so much for subscribing and hope you enjoyed it. tremendous ball game here between Hampton and Champlin. If you've subscribed for the weekend, bought all the sessions, and you're going to come back for the Class C matchup and finish off your weekend with us here on PrepSpotlight.tv. We'll see you here whenever we can get going. Of course, weather pending. So for Brian Carlson on camera, I'm Eric Murphy. Thank you for joining us, everybody.